I'm live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, guys. I hope you can hear me. I really have no way of knowing. I look, it looks like everything's working out okay. Um, and if it's not, I think I can see messages. So if you can't hear me, then I'll be able to see it. Okay. But I think we're pretty good now. We're gonna start right on. Okay, cool. I can. Somebody said yeah. So okay, awesome. Um, we're gonna start right at 7. So we've got 3 minutes. There's a couple of you on here already, which is really quite awesome. I really appreciate you guys doing this with me. Um, and I'll make sure I chat you up. I hope everybody's doing fine. This stuff is pretty crazy. Here's my hubby. Say hi.
Hey, I think you're all set.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my only hope is that my dogs stay quiet enough. It's pretty high time for people to be walking down my road right now. So we might hear some some barking. Hi, I see some messages there. Okay, hola. I hope you can hear me. Let me know there, Kaylee. So if you can hear me, are we good? Um, type in yes, but I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't think you're live yet. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, it says live in what?
In 1 minute.
Right. So maybe they can see me? Because
Nope.
Kate,
I'm
no?
looking at it on my phone.
Kaylee said hola,
Oh.
unless she's got the in, because she did all the things. Yeah, she did all the things, so she's in there. Um, or you probably all are hearing me and I have no clue. So um, it'll be pretty funny. All right. Just like being in a real class with me, yeah. So that said, I'm working on, and my IT team, my daughter Kaylee and my husband Jim are helping me put together some online classes. I've been recording today, so you'll probably see the same outfit a couple more times. Um, but I'm trying to put together some things. I've been working on it for a while, actually. It came up again a couple weeks ago in class, or 2 weeks ago, and now this. So I am really hoping that I'm going to get that stuff out there. So one thing I would like everyone, if you can, for me to do is if you could shoot me your email so I can get you the information to my new online studio that I'm going to have. And I'm going to have like different offerings and things like that. I do both yoga and Pilates. I'm going to do a little of both on there, and all the fun mobility stuff that I've been working on for the past year. Um, and so tonight, our practice is going to include a little bit of the mobility. It's a lot of that stuff trickled in with the yoga class. So for those of you that have been attending classes with me, it's like we normally do. For those of have you that have not, this yoga is going to be a little different. So I just wanted to give you a heads up there, okay? But stick with it, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Now, I did pull out a couple of blocks here. If you don't have a block, you're at home. You can grab a pillow, you can grab a little ottoman or something to sit up on. Some people have foam rollers, things like that. I'm just going to start seated on there, okay? So we're just going to start on the block. I like to just sit up a little bit higher because I like the knees to go a little bit lower than the iliac crest. So the hip bones here, hands on your thighs. And I just want you to close your eyes just for a moment. Our minds are probably in a lot of different places. And our bodies, we're just probably feeling a lot of tension right now. There's so much unknown, you guys. And it's really nice that we can do this together. So I really want you just to to start to make that transition into really feeling your own breath, to be present, and just breathing in and out of your nostrils. To really begin to let go of that chatter in the mind, to bring yourself to be just a little more here right now. And just to really honor all of you that showed up right in this moment. I want to thank you all for that. So, with your next breath, join your palms, bring them to your heart, and we'll start with the breath together. So, inhale fully, exhale completely, release your hands, and open your eyes. We're going to begin with some simple tilts of the pelvis. So, we're just using the pelvis to move here. So, I am letting my thighs go back a little and a little forward. So, it would be like a simple cat cow movement here, but just moving the pelvis. Okay. So we go into the anterior tilt where it feels like the tail goes back, and then posterior where it feels like the tail comes underneath you. Okay. So we're just doing that a couple of times here. Okay. Just feeling that lower part of the pelvis move. And you could even bring your hand to your belly. And then we're just going to pause there with a little bit more posterior, so a little bit more tucked under feeling. And then I'm going to place my left hand down and inhale that right arm up and just tilt on in and just try to look underneath your armpit and come back up and switch. So lift up, reach, look, and come back to center. Now bring your hands to your knees. And with this one, the pelvic tilt's going to come again, but more cat cow, so more into the spine. Yeah, so really here, starting to feel this little bit of this cat cow movement, but you're still seated. Okay, and you can round in as much as you want. And sometimes with this one, you can feel a little more where that stuckness is in your back. Some of us are very mobile in the upper back, some more in the middle, some more in the lower. Good. Let's just do one more. And then we're going to come on up to our hands and knees here, you guys. Okay. So I'm going to come on up to all fours. I'm going to face this way here and place the palms down, get them flat, toes tucked under, and then just that cat cow again here. So using this cat cow position as a bit of a landmark as we go tonight. So in other words, sometimes it's good to have these places in our practice where we come back to again and again. Then look up and then round and just here, come into your child's pose just for a moment. So toes together, knees apart, take your hips back to your heels and bow your head on in. And then we're going to rise and come back on up to all fours here. Okay. Now I'm going to lay down onto my side. Okay. So we're going to work the hips. And this is really great, like hip mobility. I sent this link out to my spin friends too. So in our, when we're riding those bikes, our hips get super tight. So we're going to come on down. And at first, so it's like I'm sitting in a chair. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my top hand on my knee and I'm going to push down with my hand into my knee. And then I'm going to resist my knee into my hand. So there's a little bit of tension there. Okay. Just for about the count of 3. Okay. So you can see I'm like pushing it up. And then I'm going to place my hand on the inside of the knee. I'm going to push my hand up and press my knee down into my hand. Okay. And with this, I always feel where my weakness is in my hips. Okay. And let's try that again. So hand pushes down, knee pushes up. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to the inside and we'll try that again. Good. Last time. Okay. So push, push, push up, hand into knee, and the other way. Okay. So push, 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 and lower it down. Okay. So now I think we've all done clams at the gym before, like with a band. And I want you to take your leg, lift it up, and bring it down. Okay. So we're just going to do this a couple of times. This is our external rotation of the hip. Now I'm going to keep the knees together and lift the ankle for internal rotation. Okay. Now, this one is my freakish side, you guys. So sometimes this one goes up super high. All right, let's do one more here. Now I'm going to lift the whole top leg up and pull it into my chest. I'm going to lift my leg up. I'm trying to keep my hip steady, spin my foot back, take my hip into extension. So my leg is coming behind me and I'm going to pull it back in. Okay. Now I'm going to reverse that circle. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to begin to spin my knee up and draw it back in. Okay. And we're going to do that a couple more times. So with this, we call this the hip cars or controlled articular rotations. This is really good joint mobility stuff here, you guys. Okay, and it's really great, especially if you've got some back issues. This is wonderful. Okay, I've been working on these for a while now and I love it. Okay, so we go back, oh, rotate in, nice. Now I'm going to extend this top leg all the way out and place my hand here. So I'm working my glute med. This is that muscle that runs around here. So I'm pushing up into my hand. And again, I'm resisting my hand. I'm pushing my hand into my hip to make a little more tension, a little more load there. So I've really got to work. Okay. We'll go 5 more and 4, whoo, 3, start to burn here, 2 and 1. Now we're going to lower that down, pull the leg in. Now I'm going to take my top arm. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to twist here. So I'm just going to lean back and twist. This should feel pretty good because we're opening up through the whole side of the waist here. And just take a moment and come back to your breath. So the breath again is another landmark that we just come back to again and again. So deep breath in. Deep breath out. And carefully spin back. So we're going to come back on up. Use your hands to help you to lift, to come back up. And then I'm just going to tilt over to the other side here. So I'm going to scooch on down, come back down, okay? Lay down here. So it's like I'm sitting in that chair, okay? Now again, I'm going to take my top hand, push on the knee, okay? So it's like I'm at a 90-degree angle, you guys. And for those of you not really certain, and I know it looks like I'm twisted because I keep seeing myself here, but I'm not. Hip to knee, knee to ankle, okay? So top hand, push on the knee. Remember, I'm pushing the knee into the hand and that resistance, hand into the knee. Ready? So lift up. And just really about 3 counts, okay? But just really steady. And then go on the other side. And I really like this because I tell you what, I can tell which side is so much stronger than the other straight away, and try it again. So begin to push your leg up into your hand and then switch. And I should have worn green tonight. I thought about that earlier, and but I didn't. As you can see, I'm in purple. All right, let's do it again. So push up. Oh my goodness. And again, push down. Hold, hold, hold. Oi, oi, oi. And lower it down. Okay, so this top leg, this external rotation, up and down. Okay, so I'm just opening it out to the side. And for some of us, the external rotation is bigger. And then for some of us, the internal. Now lift the ankle up and down. Okay. Now, these are things I love these things. While I'm watching TV, ask my kids, they will tell you. Okay. All right. Now, here, I'm going to take this top leg and I'm going to reach it on out, place my hand again, push down, push my hand up into that as I'm doing a couple of little leg lifts here. Okay. So, just really creating a nice long line here, but also a lot of tension in through the side of the waist and through the leg here. For 5, whew, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to pull it in and then I'm going to lay back. Just twist, reach it out. And again, just come to your breath. Nice deep breath in and out and in and out. Good. Now let's come back on up, come around, and I'm going to come on up to hands and knees here and back to that landmark of cat cow. So palms are down, inhaling, looking up, and exhaling and rounding. And again, just a couple more like that. So just feeling that mobility through the spine, through the pelvis. And then especially after doing that hip work, it might feel really good there. Okay. So I'm gonna come into a seat just for a moment. I'm just gonna sit back onto my heels. You can grab your block. So I'm gonna show you this way. You might want to sit on that, or if you have a pillow, you can come back to just sit on the floor, you guys. Okay. But I want you to take your arms out in front. So these are this idea with the arms. Okay. So shoulder cars. I'm working on my scapular movement. So the scapula in the back, the shoulders in the back, I'm trying to move that around. Okay. And I'm actually going to go this way so you can see a little better. Now I'm going to take my arms out in front and reach forward, like I'm trying to tap the wall in front of me. Okay. So that's the protraction. And then I just think it's easier to learn retraction from there. Okay, so it comes back and you'll feel your shoulder blades come together on your back. Okay, so we protract, you'll feel them separate and retract. Okay, now let them elevate, let those arms lift up. Okay, so that's elevate and then they go down is depress. Okay, and again, elevate and depress. Now I'm going to put them all together. We're going to protract, elevate, retract, depress. Okay, and again, protract, elevate, retract, depress. And then I'm going to try to go in the other way. Now, trust me, I know some of you have had a lot, like when I say to change this one up in class, like the looks I see, and I know it's hard. Like it's really something you have to work on to get, especially, so that's why I like it too, because it's good for the brain. Okay, so we're just moving around here. Let's do a couple more. And I know we didn't do that many in the other way, but we're going to get there. Okay, yeah. And then let's just shake that out. Okay, now can you do that on all fours? So it's the same idea here. If I came to hands and knees, it's like I'm pushing away. So that's the protracting. And then retract. Okay, so try that a couple of times here. So I push away, melt in, push away, melt in. Now, can I take the shoulders to the ears and then down the back? And that one might feel pretty elusive here. So this one, it might be something you have to work on. Okay, so up by the ears and back and up and back. Nice. Now I want you to come on up to your tall knees and we're just going to take our left leg and step it forward. Okay, my hands are going to come onto my hips. Now I'm going to get some lateral movement through my hips. So I'm going to try to let my hips rock a little bit here, side to side. Okay, And I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to turn around this way. So when I'm rocking here side to side, I'm going to make sure my hips aren't hiked up like this when I'm going to twist and do my next move here. I want to try to level my hips out, okay? And with that feeling, I can turn on the glutes a little more here, okay? And notice our legs are in this 90 position here. So here's a 90 degree, and then this back leg is a 90 degree. So squeeze that glute, really turn it on and extend up through that right arm, okay? So reach up and then tilt to the left and see if you can keep that nice neutral pelvis here. And come back up to center. Now place your right hand on your chest. We're going to keep that neutral spine and twist around to the left. Take that left arm back behind you and come back to center. Now I'm just going to reach my left hand down outside of the foot, spin to the right, which just feels pretty weird. We don't do it like this very often, right? And then I'm going to switch. I'm going to go down and switch. And I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to switch and switch and come back down. Nice. Now I'm going to switch sides. Okay. So right leg forward, left leg back, same 90-90. Remember, you're turning on your glutes. Okay. So check out the lateral mobility in the hips because we want our spine to be able to move. We don't want to be stuck here. Okay. So nice and steady. Now take that left arm up, tilt over to the right side. Good. And then come back to center. Left hand on your chest. Spin around and take that right arm. Just try to reach through that right arm. Try to glance over to the right as best as you can here. Good. And then come back to center. Now hands are going to come down. I'm going to come back to hands and knees. And this time, I'm going to try to come into that shoulder cars, these shoulder motions. Try it again here. Okay, so shoulders up, back, down, and around. Okay, so you can stay here or try to pick your knees up. That's just going to make it that much more difficult. So, little more load. And did you notice my elbows were trying to bend a little bit? I'm going to try to reverse it here. Maybe you can get the reverse or maybe not. Okay. Good. Woo. My shoulders are burning and come on down. Now I'm going to sit back, shake out my wrists. Okay. Now from here, I want you to flex through the palms, curl them in. So curl, 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 and make a fist, knuckles down. Okay. Now I want you to drive through the thumbs and extend up through those palms. Okay. And again, we're just going to curl in, push down, and then and reach. Let's do that a couple more times. So just to get a little bit of that wrist mobility when we come onto like our hands a little more, right? So when we're in that downward dog, okay? Good. We'll do one more. Now flex out through those palms, fingertips up towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Now let's come into downward dog. Okay, you guys. So come into your best dog. Lift on up. Whatever feels good. I like to pedal my feet out. Maybe you can swish your hips a little side to side. So whatever feels good here. Okay. And then we're just going to rock forward into that plank. And just kind of notice your shoulders. So here you can push away and plug in. So it's that protraction, retraction, protraction, retraction, and protract. And keep that protraction. I'm way up high on my tiptoes, and I'm going to gently, carefully just begin to lower, bend my elbows. That's all I'm doing. Whoo! Point your toes and take your hands out by your sides. I'm going to tuck my chin in a little bit to my chest and tilt the forehead down, lift my arms up. Squeeze in and reach and squeeze. Place your hands down, curl up, and come back into downward facing dog. And just walk your hands back to meet your feet. We're going to take a second here. You can bend your knees. You can grab a hold of your elbows. Whew, and rock. Just let it all go. Release your fingers down. Carefully begin to roll yourself on up and roll those shoulders back a little bit. Okay, I know my head's cut off. Don't worry, we're coming back down. So I'm just going to tuck my chin in. We're going to come all the way back on down. And then I'm going to walk my hands out back to that plank position. And now I'm just going to lower my knees back to all fours. Okay. All right. So left leg is going to come forward once again. Okay. Now I want you to take your right arm out. I'm going to spin around this way so you can see. Right arm is out. My palm is face down to the floor. And I'm going to spin my thumb towards the back wall. So this is that internal rotation of the arm, okay? And then I'm going to externally rotate it. So I like to say it's like spinning a door handle, right? So it's the internal rotation and the external rotation. So I'm just letting my arm move here, okay? I'm just letting the arm just get some nice movement. Woo. Okay, now with this next one, internally rotate because we get lazy. We get to that one point, and I bet you can go about 25% more. Ugh, okay, and now externally rotate, and then see if you can go 25% more there and lower it out, shake it out. Okay, so that arm's going to come out. Don't worry, we'll do the next side in a moment. I won't forget. I know sometimes I need a lot of you to help me remember which side. Lift your heel and lift your toe. Try it again. Lift your heel and your toe. And can you lift your whole leg up, your whole foot up? Okay, so a little hip proprioception. So keeping our balance, which right now in these times, balance is really going to be elusive, you guys. I'm telling you that right now. Good. Ooh. All right. Now place that foot back down. Right hand comes down. And it can come over off to the side a little bit and stretch. Bring that left arm all the way up. Oh, it feels so good. And then release on down. Come back on up. Let's go ahead and switch sides. I'll just stay this way for you. So take the left arm out and here, remember palm is down, okay? Because I was just doing it one at a time because I wanted you to really feel it here to get that work. So I think sometimes if we have both, we favor one arm over the other. If we have an injury, we sometimes don't take it in as well as we should. So we're going to internally rotate. Remember, it's turning down, okay? And then externally rotate. Ooh, and you will feel this, you guys. Like this is some really deep work here, okay, with those arms. So that internal and the external. And I love working the joints. Trust me, I know it's not like our full-blown yoga classes of your, but I think that it just keeps us moving a whole lot better here. Okay, so now this time, internally rotate, really rotate it around, little 25% more. And then externally rotate and then see if you can go that little tiny touch more. Woo, and shake it out. Okay, so now let's work the hips here. Again, arms go out, lift the heel, lower it down, lift the toes and lower, heel lifts and toes. And now can you lift? Ooh, oh yeah, the whole leg up. Such a disparity. This is my much weaker hip for sure. And I'm really feeling it today. Partly because I'm doing this. It's really putting me outside my box. I'm so used to seeing you guys. Woo! Right? And really kind of knowing what I'm looking at, who I'm looking at, and what's going on. Okay. Another moment here. Woo, good job, you guys. And then, lower it down. Left hand down. Oh, my niece just joined. Hi. And lean around and extend. Stretch up through your arm. Sweet. Good. And then we're going to lower that down and we're going to take it back. Okay, so let's come back over here. Let's come into down dog. Okay, hands down, tuck your toes, lift on up. Now from here, once again, let's rock forward to that plank. Can you remember the landmark here? Okay, so same idea. We had that pelvis. So I said that cat-cow was our landmark. So can you find it here? And then keep that tucked under and then do those shoulders. Whoo! That's going to start to really build some heat, you guys. So we're protracting, elevating, depressing, just those little shoulders, and then around in the other way. Okay? And then go ahead and lower all the way back down. Point your toes, curl in, lift on up, and come back now just to hands and knees once again. Okay? So take the left foot forward, hands are to the inside here, and just into this lizard lunge. So I'm going to push my left knee to the left. You can use a block. So like if you have a block handy, you can lean into it so it like lifts the floor up a smidge. Or try to get your elbows down to the ground. You can keep that back knee down or tuck the toes under on that back leg there and lift it up. So it's your choice here, okay? So just breathe. And then we're going to lower it down. Okay. Now I'm going to come back around, and I didn't think this through. We're going to pivot around through center. So my head may be cut off. So, yeah, here we go. I didn't check that camera angle. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, this has been a real learning curve for me. We're just going to go side to side. Okay. All right. See, it's just like being in class with me. I'm screwing up all the time, right? All right, we're going to go around into this other way here. So lizard lunge, second side. Okay, hands into the inside. Again, you can come on down to your elbows, okay, or to your block and breathe. Or tuck the toes under on that back foot and keep pressing that right knee a little bit to the right. And just breathe. Woo. Good. Then we're going to pivot. We're going to lift up, pivot back around through center. And with this one, you guys just walk your hands out. Enjoy your breath here. Bow the head in. Nice big stretch. Take those hips back as much as you can. Deep breath in and a deeper breath out. Then from here, we're going to look on up and just heel toe your feet in like once or twice. And then we're going to come on up to standing. Okay. I'm going to scooch back a smidge here. So maybe you can see me somewhat. Okay. And we're going to take this into some of our regular poses here. So I'm going to pivot my left foot and hip open to the left. Okay. And come into warrior two. Now try this. Take the arms out in front. Protract the arms so they reach forward and then retract. Okay. Now the shoulders still stay on your back. Separate those arms. Okay. And try to externally rotate the arms. See what they're doing here. And then internally rotate. Okay. And you can glance out over that front arm. So keep that going with the external and the internal rotation with the arms. Okay. Keep pressing that right knee, that right leg open, left leg, into that external rotation. Okay. And glance out over that front arm here. Now let's go right into side angle. So forearm comes down, stretch and reach that top arm up and over. So get that nice length here. And again, keep pressing the knee open to the side. Great. Now we're going to come back on up. I'm going to squeeze that left leg straight. Begin to tilt at the hips. Really reach it out nice and long. Hand comes down, lengthen up, coming up into a nice triangle pose here. So root down evenly into the back leg. Glance on up at that top arm. And then like someone was pulling you from your fingers on that top arm, lift, come all the way up. Okay, keep the arms separated. Let's pivot those feet around. Let's go into that second side. Okay, so again, arms are wide. And again, we're just going to internally and externally rotate through those arms. Okay, so just get that sense of what happens with the shoulders here. Okay, and then we're spinning the palms down. See if you can spin them down. Now, before I had you take them forward, can you work that here? Can you squeeze the shoulder blades here together? After we've done it several times, you may start to get that gist on your own. Okay, so externally rotate that right leg. Keep pushing it open to the right. Stay with it. These arms are probably burning as well. And then side angle. Reach down, stretch the top arm, reach it up and over here. Okay, I love it. You can look up, breathe, keep some steadiness through those legs, and come all the way up. Now squeeze that front leg straight, slide down, triangle, Trikonasana. Look on up to that high thumb. Keep the shoulders soft. All right. And then rise, come all the way up and pivot your feet back around through center. And once again, Pasrita Padottanasana. We're just going to hinge, come straight down the middle here. This time I'm just going to grab at my ankles, or I'm going to actually take my first two fingers and wrap them around the big toes. Sometimes that just feels so good. Let your neck go. Come back to that breath and look up. Hands come in, and can you heel toe bring your feet in towards each other, okay? So that you're in a nice forward fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bow. Now, from here, we're going to heel toe about to about hip width distance. And can you come on down into Malasana? So into a nice low squat. And I'm just trying to press my knees apart. Now, for those of you that can't, some of you might be up here. That's totally fine. Or you might be like this. Okay, I call this the going potty in at a bathroom on a road trip, right? Okay, so you might be here. Totally fine, right? Stay there, okay? But we're getting this action of thighs back and pushing apart. So into that external rotation is what we want, okay? And so then wherever you are, hands back down to the floor, straighten those legs, fold right down the middle, and breathe. Now come on down to hands and knees. All right. Now let's come into our bird dog. So want you here actually to take your left hand. I'm going to come around this way. Take your left hand and just place it at your rib cage, okay? Because what happens is, and I'll come back here again, the ribs, we tend to dip down, right? So everything goes forward. This shirt's kind of really baggy today, but it goes down. So I want you to pull in, okay? So keep this tone here, okay? And then can you take that right leg and reach it back behind you? So that right glute really has to turn on, and squeeze it as straight as you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then see if you can extend that left arm out. Really reach it out nice and steady for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to hug in, elbow to knee, and extend it out. And elbow to knee, and reach. One more. Pull in, reach, and back to all fours. Okay, so let's go on the other side. I'm just gonna do a little rib check, make sure my belly's not dipping down, my back isn't in that arch too much here. Tone everything in. My left leg, I'm gonna take it back and lift it up. Keep that stability, really squeeze it as straight as you can. Hips pointing in towards the mat, right arm extends out. So reach, keep that arm lifted. It's gonna wanna sink, reach, 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 and then pull in and extend. Woo. And in and reach. I think we did 3, but I'm not really sure, so we'll go one more. I know we were probably uneven somewhere here. And come back down. And now come back into child's pose, toes together, knees apart. Look up, look to your hands, you guys. Take your right arm, pinky side down. And then can you lift your arm up and try to spin it back, take it back behind you for this full movement in through the shoulder, okay? So it's like a big circle, and it's coming back. My palm goes up, it's like pushing the walls away. I pivot and come back forwards. Let's do one more on this side here. Take it back and reach it forwards. Then I'm coming to the left side. So I'm going to lift my arm up. Let me take it back behind me. Lift it up. Bring it forwards. Arm lifts. Take it back and forwards. One more. Lift it up. Take it back. Lift up and forwards. Whew. All right. So here, let's go ahead and find a seat, you guys. And we're going to take those legs, stretch them out, just shake them out, just nice and steady here. Okay. Now, some of you might need to sit on your block or your pillow if you had it, blanket if you have one. But we're going to take our right leg, bring the right foot heel into my left hip. And I apologize, I'm not mirroring you anymore. And that top leg is going to come over on top. So we call this one Gomukhasana with a cow face pose. Okay. And this is supposed to be the cow lips. Now, we've done so much for the shoulders. We're not going to work the shoulders in this one. If you're dying to, you can go ahead and bring your arms up. Right now, I'm just interested in these hips and letting all that tension go. So we're just going to begin to hinge and come forwards here. Okay. So I just want you to kind of soften a bit into the hips. Now, there might be that feeling of pulling that top leg up into the chest. So let it soften and go down. So I don't know about you guys. When I'm doing that joint stuff, I really get really heated up, and I think it's because some of those movements are really small. They're working some larger um, muscle groups, which we know when we do that, the heart rate goes up and all of that. But I start to really sweat, and I'm not a sweater. Um, so you might have gotten very heated with all of that. So just take note. That's quite normal. Okay. No, it seems like we didn't do a whole lot, but there's so much going on right now, as we all know. And so I really just wanted you to move in different ways to keep you in the moment, to kind of challenge yourself, bring yourself out of that regular, because that's when our mind wanders. And if we're doing something different, it helps to bring us into the present. And the present is all we have. And that's the only thing we can change. So then here, let's come on up. Now, you can keep your foot in this position here, or you can try to place your foot and plant it on the ground. Now I'm going to wrap my opposite arm. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg here. Give it a good hug. Take my opposite hand back behind me. Okay. And I'm going to twist and try to peek around and just look around to my shoulder. And then carefully coming back around through center, and then we'll switch sides. Okay, so left leg is on the bottom. I try to lean a little bit so I can squeeze the heel and close to my bum as much as I can. And then that top leg is going to come over and on top here. Okay, so sitting up tall again and again. If you want to use those arms, you can do that, or you can start to hinge and come forwards. Okay, and breathe. So just keep softening through those hips, and notice again here if this top leg is still holding and gripping, and try to let it go. And again, just coming back into the present. And in the present here again too, you might be noticing the hips, noticing your breath. If your mind is wandering, just coming back, just bringing it back. And then carefully come back on up. Now see if you can plant your foot down, wrap your arm around, and begin to twist. So peek around that opposite way here, and just breathe. Good. And coming back around through center, and just come back into a seat. So some of you might want to sit back on your block or in that pillow. Anything like that is fine. So right now, you guys, before we end, before we come on our back in Shavasana, and yes, we're going to do Shavasana, I wanted to do that alternate nostril breathing. That's that breath where it can be really helpful and very healing, especially in times like this. Okay, so your palm is out. I always say your peace sign fingers. So your index finger and your middle finger are going to come down into the base of the palm. So in this mudra here, we're using our thumb and our ring finger. Okay. If you can't manage that, I always tell people they can do index fingers here, or you could still even do index finger and your thumb, like your little pincher fingers here. But ideally, it's this specific mudra, which is escaping my head right now, um, down, and you turn that in towards you. So if I face it out and then spin it in, okay. So I'm sitting up, and I'm going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale, and then I'm going to cover up my right nostril. Okay, so I'm covering up my right nostril, letting all that air out through the left side, and then I'm going to inhale through the left, cover up both, and exhale through the right. Okay. Then I inhale up through the right, cover up both, exhale left. Inhale left, cover up both, exhale right. Let's just do that a couple more rounds here. You can close your eyes if you'd like, really trying to feel that breath. It's very calming and soothing to your nervous system. That right nostril is like the gas in your car, and it'll give you more energy. The left nostril is like the brake, and it'll help slow you down. So, in the weeks to come, if you feel like you really need to slow down a little more or get rid of this anxiety that we're all feeling, you can just do this and breathe out of the left side for a couple rounds. It'll help. If you're feeling like, oh my God, I've been in the house too much, and you can keep this breath going, you guys, and you need to get more energy, then you can just breathe through that right side. Okay. So, but the both doing the alternate nostril is just bringing everything back into balance. So I've been reading so much lately. So many people are having a hard time falling asleep. This is a great way, great segue into that. It's a great segue into meditation. Next time you exhale and it's out of the left side, I want you just to release your hand down and just breathe. Now, see if we can come onto your back here, you guys. So we're going to lie down onto our backs, have your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. And just like we did when we were seated, we had one thigh crossed over the other. Pick those feet up and just hug them in. Just pull in a little bit. You can flex through your feet. Now, I'm going to take my hands and push my hands into my shins. And then I'm going to resist with my shins and push my shins back into my hands. And you'll feel a deeper stretch in that outer hip area where we worked so much before on our sides. So just keep pulling, push, pull, push, pull. And then place your feet down, lower the knees to the left. You can look up or glance to your right. And then carefully coming up to center and unwind your legs. And let's do the other side. So pick up your feet and pull on in. And again, I'm pushing down with my hands and I'm taking my hands, I'm going to push on up here. So just pulling and pushing here. Good. And then you're going to lower on down and lower the knees to the right. You can look up or glance to your left. And carefully bring your legs back to center. We're going to gently come into happy baby. So take the knees, let them pull in towards the armpits, and you can turn the soles of the feet up and just push your hands back into your feet. Now, I like to give you guys options for Shavasana. I have this wall right here. So if I wanted, I could do legs up the wall, or I could just lay down flat here. I could bring the soles of my feet together into that reclined butterfly. We did a lot with the hips, so that might feel good to really still let go in that hip area. Okay. I'm going to take this one here for just now. So you can rest your hands on your belly or arms by your sides. Just close your eyes. Just get a sense of what is touching the floor, the back of the head, the hips, the feet, and what's not touching. So it might be the arch in the back or the arch in the back of the neck and the belly and the chest. And then getting a sense of the breath, that full expansion. And so just feeling your breath here, feeling the softness of that breath. And just allowing yourself to let go just even a little further, a little more. We've been so turned on and so amped up these last several days. See what it's like just to soften for a moment. All that noise will be there when we blink our eyes open. Just feel what you're feeling in this moment. Again, it's touching the floor. It's not touching. And then begin to deepen that breath. You can begin to draw those knees in if they splayed out, or walk the feet in. You can wiggle through the fingers and the toes. You can stretch those arms overhead. And take your time to carefully roll to your side and use your hands to come back up to a seat. And just coming back and bringing your hands into your heart. And I am so humbled that you joined me this evening. It really means so much to me. I think this is great. I've missed doing this. So thank you. And may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you be peaceful and at ease. I hope this practice has brought you a little ease. Namaste. Thank you guys. Bye. Um, Let me see. Kim, I think so. I think we can replay this. I will let you know. So, and thanks for joining me and leaving me messages, my friends. I appreciate it. Bye.